So, what do you do when a game is so bad that people don't even want to play it when it's free? Well, it looks like the Veilguard is going through that right now. A game that is so bad you could bring it over to poverty-stricken countries and say, "Hey, you could sell this game for money," and they would just take that game and throw it right back at you. Dragon Age: The Veilguard flops hard again on PS Plus. So basically, it's being given away for free to anyone who has the PS Plus. Um, Veilguard, collection of like Ninja Turtle games. I think it was like the NES ones, but I think the Turtles in Time was in there as well. Great game. Probably one of the best TMNT games out there. Even now, it holds up really, really well. So much so that people they like made a little like an homage to it. They made another game in that style because it was a really good game. Um, the Super Nintendo version was actually really good. It was a port of the arcade game, and it held up really well. It was really, really fun. But the Dragon Age, however, people rather play Ninja Turtle games from like what 20, 30 years ago than play this. And how do we know? Because of this right here. We got Dragon Age down here, number 15. Ninja Turtles is beating it. So, you know, we've got Minecraft, we got Apex Legends, but yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a Cowabunga collection. You know, we got Marvel Rivals, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto 5. But we got number 15, Burger King foot lettuce. 6 months after its disastrous launch, and let's be honest, that's putting it nicely. Dragon Age: The Veilguard has proven once again to the world that nobody cares about it. Yeah. In a last-ditch effort to salvage its reputation, EA had tossed the game onto PlayStation Plus in March 2025, just a few short months after release, in hopes that maybe, just maybe, players would give it a shot if it was for free. The result, a resounding and extremely laughable no thanks. Game over. What? It's taken 2 hits already? Get good, ZFG. Get good. Um, According to the data from True Trophies, which analyzes over 3.4 million active PSN accounts, the Veilguard didn't even crack the top 10 most played games on PlayStation, even after being a free game to play for PS Plus members. Instead, it landed all the way down at 15th place, trailing behind Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Cowabunga Collection, a 3-year-old retro compilation of 8-bit games. Like I said, I think technically also 16-bit because, or 32, whatever the Super Nintendo was. Um, but yeah, I think Turtles in Time is on there as well. Um, but yeah, the fact that they'd rather play Ninja Turtles than failure of pronoun proportions, proportions, but pronoun. You're funny, JT. You're you're funny, buddy boy. Um, you read that correctly. It's that insane. More people chose to replay decades-old NES games over BioWare's latest attempt at wokeness and keeping the Dragon Age franchise alive. The writing was on the wall long before the latest humiliation. The Veilguard was one of the most hyped and ultimately most disappointing releases of 2024. As I previously reported directly from my insider, BioWare and EA were trying to aim for 10 million copies sold over the course of the lifetime of the game, but instead barely managed to allegedly scrape past 1 million in over 2 months of launch. So that 10 million, that's what they wanted, because that would be about $700 million, which is that wasn't the budget for the game, but that was the budget and the marketing. So for people who don't know, you have the budget for the game and then you have marketing. So the budget for the game was like 350 million or so. And then you have marketing, which is like 300. Sometimes, depending, it could be like 100 million, but if it got up to 6-7 million, 600, yeah, about 600, 700 million, So they said about 700 million. So whatever the budget was enough to push it to needing 700 million. And in the 2 months, you want to know how much it made? 70 million. 70 million. Not even close to even breaking even. Not even close to making back what they spent just for the budget of the game. But then you have people out there still defending this game, trying to make it seem like it was a masterpiece and it was a financial success. No, it wasn't. And if you truly enjoyed the game, I'm glad. I'm glad you liked it. But that didn't make it a success, now did it? And there's so many reasons, none of which have anything to do with what they were talking about, like, oh, the bigots and the... No. It has most of the things people were complaining about had nothing to do with racial things or diversity or no. The story was bad. The characters were bad. The people compared the the action, the gameplay to like mobile games. The puzzles weren't even puzzles. Oh yeah, you see that thing right there? You just put it right there. Or you turn the statue 90 degrees. Like, gamers are capable of solving some of the most complex puzzles in gaming. Where was the complex puzzles? The characters weren't relatable at all. Tosh is probably one of the worst written characters of all time. She wants to talk about her identity and people having to respect her while she respects no one else in return. The romancing sounds like it was written by people who have never flirted with or been, had anyone flirt with them. It was just one thing after another. The game being called Dreadwolf, people were like, "Oh yeah, Solus is going to be their antagonist," and then it's like, "Nope, nope. Yeah, you know that character that you guys love? Yeah, he's not going to be the main character in here. He's not going to be the main antagonist. We're gonna just switch him out for the typical gods. Ooh, take down the oppressive gods." Solus shows up in the beginning of the game for like 5 minutes, and then he just kind of pops up, a little bit throughout the game. So I mean, the game was called Dreadwolf. He's the Dreadwolf, and yet, so once they decided to change it to the evil elven gods, Solus, one of the most beloved characters of the franchise, took the back seat. So that pissed a lot of people off. So, I mean, I could keep going. None of this has anything to do with racial identity or gender. It was just a bad game. It was just a bad game. And instead of BioWare admitting that it was just a bad game, it's just people, oh, it's the phobes and isms who made it fail. Ugh. At this point, we weren't even sure how many, if it sold that many. That's the kind of performance that gets quietly swept under the rug. Not added to PS Plus with hopes of a comeback. To make things even more embarrassing, EA already tried to shift blame, suggesting that the Veilguard flopped because it wasn't a live service game. Oh yeah, that's the other thing about the game itself. No DLC, no expansion. Pretty much what you got was all you were gonna get. And even now they're like, oh yeah, well, yeah, we really don't care about the Veilguard anymore, so we're not going to bother fixing the game if there's bugs. Unless it's a game-breaking bug, then we can fix it. But if not, enjoy your game. Enjoy that $70 game that you purchased. The Veilguard flopped because it wasn't a live service game. Hysterical in the context of the near infinite amount of non-live service games arriving these days that have been selling like hotcakes. As a fat man, pancakes, hotcakes, whatever you want to call them, flapjacks. Those sound really good. I haven't had pancakes in how long? It's been a while. It has been a while since I had pancakes or waffles or pancakes. That sounds so good right now. Off topic, favorite pancakes. It could be, blueberry, strawberry, chocolate chip. What do you like? What kind of pancakes do you like? What do you like on your pancakes? Are you simple butter and syrup? Or are you like, you like what they do over at like freaking IHOP or Denny's or something like that, where they, Denny's red, white, and blue, America. What kind of pancakes? What kind of cakes do you like? But no, they've implied that what players really wanted was another Anthem-style disaster for some insane reason. Talk about a desperate grasping at straws by EA brass. What's next for Dragon Age? Nothing. Nothing. It's just going to sit there. Like the creepy pasta Nintendo game that was sitting in someone's closet for 20 years, and then they decided to dust it off to relive some memories, only to find that it had been cursed. Even that game would sell a lot faster and a lot better than Dragon Age the Veilguard. People would rather play Sonic.exe in real life and have to deal with Sonic coming out of their game and in a plushie or whatever than deal with this crap. At this point, it's safe to say the Veilguard is beyond saving. Not everyone, not that anyone paying attention is surprised to hear. It's been handed out for basically what amounts to free for free for existing subscribers to PS Plus. If being handed out for basically what amounts to free for existing isn't enough to attract people, literally nothing will be. BioWare is falling apart by all indications, and are left scrambling to figure out what went wrong with this one. Spoiler, everything. Yeah. Again, none of which has anything to do with diversity, equity, and inclusion. It was just a bad game. But you say this stuff, and people can just constantly call you a phobos and ism. Why can't you just admit that the company made a bad game? Is it really that hard to just, yeah, they made a bad game. Yeah, they tried. They made a bad game. If they didn't make so many changes to the story and to the characters, and if it was more riveting in gameplay and this, but no, instead, BioWare alone, you phobos and isms. And EA is regretting every cent they poured into this train wreck for the better part of near decade-long slog of development time, spanning multiple scrapped attempts along the way. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, gamers have spoken loud and clear, and it's hysterical. They'd rather play a collection of 30-year-old Ninja Turtle games than endure a few hours of the soulless corporate-driven mess. Honestly, I can't say I blame anyone for that being the result either. I mean, yeah, the fact that they'd rather play games from 30 years, which tells you everything you need to know about games from, even 10 years ago, 20 years ago. They're just better games. While, yes, you had some flops, look at 2024, all these AAA games coming out. Flop after flop after flop. I mean, yeah, I actually, no, I won't. I could make a flop joke. But, yeah, every AAA, Ubisoft, BioWare, EA, you name it, they're all these projects, oh yeah, this is going to revolutionize and draw people in. No, they flop. Because they don't know how to make good games anymore. And people rather play fucking Nintendo, Super Nintendo games than play any crap that comes out now. So let that kind of be a reminder of what gaming is like in modern day. That people are still going back to play, Nintendo games from like freaking 20 years ago, 30 years ago. PlayStation 2, because there were good games. These games are just soulless. They're written by people who are pushing more of an agenda than anything else. Who are making these games and, oh yeah, the last game, what made it great? Yeah, fuck all that. We're gonna do the complete opposite of making a good game. Instead, we're gonna have a terrible story, terrible characters, terrible gameplay, a linear world, which you have the art team making such beautiful landscapes, and you don't get to explore any of it because the game sets you on a linear path. You can't stray too far out of the boundaries. And for a game like Dragon Age, you want to explore, but no, you're on a linear path. So all those beautiful sights in the distance, well, congrats, you're never going to get to see them up close. The person behind that who made it look so good, their work is going to go completely unappreciated because no one's going to get to fully experience the amount of time and effort they put into it. All because they were like, oh, let's make this game linear. We're going to have the player on a set path. So many things wrong, nothing to do with diversity, equity, and inclusion. But Tosh being a terrible character. And I've said before, her whole identity crisis could have been a good story if they went about it a different way. Everyone likes a coming of age story. Everyone likes a finding oneself story. But they made her so fucking whiny. You think I don't like? You think I enjoy not being comfortable who I am? Having to struggle with... Shut up. Shut up. Yeah, I'm non-binary. And her mom's like, what the fuck is that? It's like, I don't identify as a boy or girl. And her mom's like, we have a word for that, Tosh. We have a word for that in our people's language. What's this non-binary bullshit that you're talking about? So if they had just done the story right, she could have had a great story about finding herself. But no. No. They just ham-fisted the whole thing. And again, she asks for respect and demands that people respect her identity while she doesn't respect anyone else's. But that's just a reflection of the people working on the game. But taking Tosh out of the picture, you still have so many things wrong with this game. Still so many things wrong with the game. And again, none of it has anything to do with diversity, equity, or inclusion. The combat, the story, the companions being poorly written, the romancing that people liked, that they look forward to being poorly written, the game being linear. None of this has anything to do with diversity, equity, and inclusion. So, but yet they still want the bigots, the bigots, homophobes, the Donald Trump supporters, they made the game. Shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Eventually, you're going to run out of this straw man of blaming Donald Trump supporters for, like, literally everything. A fucking hurricane blows down your house. Oh, it was the racist Donald Trump supporters. The game fails. Oh, the racist Donald Trump supporters. Eventually, that straw man's going to have to disappear. So you might as well just start working on just acknowledging that these game companies are just producing crap. And then you can tell them, hey guys, you're producing crap. Maybe you should produce a better quality product. Especially since we're paying $70 to $80 for it. But whatever. Those people don't seem to care that they're wasting their hard-earned money on... I've said it before, if you're spending $70, $80 on a video game, the men want it to blow their fucking balls off. The women want to be afraid that it might be so awesome that they might become pregnant afterwards. But if you're paying a game, it's like playing a game, you're paying for it, $70, $80, and you're playing it and you're like, is it worth it? Are you connecting to the characters? Are you feeling anything from the story? No. You're just like, oh, it's a game. Oh yeah, let's just settle for mediocrity. Current day. Anyway, that's gonna do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye guys.